the Wanderlusting Wives podcast, your podcast for escaping life's monotony, inspiring self-love, and discovering the constant beauty of this ever-changing world.
Welcome to Wildcard Wednesdays. On this week's episode, Regan and Allie share their worst dates, their highs and lows for the week, and discover an inspiring headline. Welcome to the Wanderlusting Wives podcast. We're your navigators, Allison
and Regan, and today is our first Wildcard Wednesday. First one ever. This is season 2 of the Wanderlusting Wives podcast, but last season we have a lot of really great information about specific destinations, things like that, from Iceland to Italy to Bolivia to Hawaii. We have everything in season 1 about destination-specific topics. But for season 2, we're doing a little bit more this year. And so rather than every other week, which we do have episodes every other week, our Travel Tuesday episodes, we are also going to be starting episodes every other Wednesday. And on Wednesdays, we do Wildcard Wednesday. And we'll get more into what that's going to mean and give some examples of what we're going to do each week. But first, we want to give you an opportunity to get to know us a little bit more in case you're new. So Allie, tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, so welcome to all of you who may be new here, or if you're just joining us for a Wildcard Wednesday. We are so happy that you are here and taking the time out of your day to listen to us. I'm Allie, and I am an elementary teacher. I teach second grade. I absolutely love to travel. I really enjoy teaching, and I am very passionate about sharing my love for travel with all of you and spending time with Regan to create this podcast. Has been such a fun outlet for us this past year, and we're so excited for season 2. Currently live in Pennsylvania, originally from New York, where Regan and I grew up, and we want to just share some stories, some inspiration, and tons of different self-care or self-love kind of vibes here on this podcast. So we hope you will enjoy it. Let's hear more about you, Regan.
Yeah, we're just two normal gals hanging out, best friends for 17 years now. We met growing up in the same neighborhood. So we're really grateful to have this platform to be able to connect with each other and to connect with all of you. So yeah, I'm Regan. I currently live in Rochester, New York. I also love to travel, if that is not clear already. I also am a huge Disney nerd. So if you love Disney, you love Disney World, hit me up. I would love to be best friends with you. So that's great. Even my mini golden doodle is named Remy after the rat in Ratatouille. So big fan. And yeah, I am a communications manager for the Quad Preparatory School in Manhattan, which is a school for twice exceptional individuals. So yeah, living a good life, loving travel and loving talking about travel and all things just related to life in general. You don't have to be somebody super famous or super exceptionally special to have a platform in which you can inspire others. And we really hope that we, through this opportunity that we have, inspire you. So yeah, that's me. And we also have some announcements to make. Now that this is the beginning of season 2, we do have our new website, which we announced last week for Travel Tuesday at the launch of our second season. Our website, you can find out more about us. You can listen to past episodes. There are opportunities to connect and let us know if you have stories and you want to be a part of our podcast. We have guests for Travel Tuesdays, and we would love to connect with you. And we'll be growing and building our website as our podcast evolves, for whatever that might mean. So our website, as a reminder, is www.wanderlustingwives.wixsite.com/travel. And Allie, I know there's some other aspects of our platform, so tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so we also, you can find us on pretty much every social media account except for TikTok. So Instagram, you can find us at Wanderlusting Wives. Facebook is Wanderlusting Wives Podcast, and Twitter is Wanderlust Wives. You can also email us at wanderlustingwives@gmail.com. Frequently are on social media and checking our email, so we would love to hear from you and connect with you. Maybe you're just emailing us saying, hey, I thought that was really funny when Regan shared about the scooter electrocuting her. Maybe something like that. Or maybe you just say, hey, I don't really like that you spend half an hour talking about Regan being electrocuted by a scooter. Maybe you only spend 10 minutes doing that. Okay, we want to hear from you. We're open minded. Don't be too harsh, but we are open to suggestions. We want to make sure this podcast is something that keeps you coming back each week, whether you're tuning in for Travel Tuesday or Wildcard Wednesday. We want to make sure that we are inspiring you and giving you stuff that makes you want to come back. And with that, in hopes of you connecting with us via social media or email, we're going to be having a giveaway. So please make sure you are checking out our social media accounts. We might have some gift cards, maybe some travel journals. Like we said in our last episode, we don't want to give too much away for our giveaway, but we want to intrigue you a little bit so that you will follow us on social media, and we want to give back to you, our listeners who have been there from the beginning or just joining us. We want to show you how much we appreciate you by doing a little giveaway. Let's dive in. Are you ready to dive into Wildcard Wednesday and what it's all about?
I am so ready, Allie. Let's do it.
This has been at least a month in the works. I mean, we have been going at this for so long. So we hope that you love these ideas, and we're excited for this new chapter of Wanderlusting Wives. So if you are a listener to the Wanderlusting Wives Travel Tuesdays, you know we have the tagline of Escape, Indulge, Discover. So we want to kind of keep that theme, but we want to do escape, inspire, discover. So what we mean by escape, we want to escape life's monotony. Maybe you work a 9 to 5 and you're not really passionate about your job, or maybe you are passionate. Maybe you just have a long commute and it's just monotonous to be driving in that standstill traffic every day, and you want to escape. We want to be your escape of that chaos, or maybe your to-do list. Maybe you have 3 kids at home and you have to vacuum all the time because they're spilling Cheerios. We want you to be able to put your AirPods in or whatever headphones you have and just escape for this roughly 30 minutes that you're going to spend with us, and just focus on some fun. Maybe we're going to talk about, I don't know, the recent football game. Maybe not, because we're not really that well versed, but we have a wheel of crazy topics. Maybe it's the football game. Maybe it's the Super Bowl commercials. Maybe it is our Enneagrams, or maybe the worst date stories. We want to just be lighthearted, fun, and relatable. That's really what it comes down to. We want to connect with you and be relatable as much as we can, because at the end of the day, we're all just humans living this crazy life.
Definitely. And that for that escape segment, each episode is going to have segments that are escape, inspire, and then discover. And those are 3 different things. And that's exactly what escape is going to be. And we're going to literally spin a wheel to decide what topic in that moment we're going to talk about. And it being randomized forces us to be present and engaged and focus on the here and now. And in this day and age, especially when life moves at a million miles an hour, that is really important to just be present with the people you're with and to just literally escape for a second. And along with that's taking time for yourself. That's taking time for self-care, for self-love. And that's where our inspire segment comes in. And really for this, we want to inspire self-love and self-care and inspire honest self-reflection through this segment. And what we're going to do for it, we're going to play a game that I used to play at my dining table growing up, and that was the high-low game. And everyone would go around the table and we would say the high from our day and the low from our day. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a second to be honest with you, because that's what we want to be seen as with you. We want to be seen as relatable. We want to be seen as honest. We want to be seen as conversational and approachable. And we hope that in us expressing where we're at in life, that encourages you to be honest with yourself about where you're at. And are you striving towards the things that you want to? Are you working to be as fulfilled as possible? Where could you grow in life? Because if we're not growing, life becomes super boring. I don't know about you, but that's what I find about life. And I'm in the middle of something like that in my life right now, and I should not be keeping that to myself. If I'm able to inspire others, I want to, even though I'm just a normal human being. So that's what we're going to do for our Inspire segment each Wildcard Wednesday.
And then that leaves us with discover, and that's discovering the constant beauty of this world, because so much of social media is the negative, and we want to make sure that going back to escape, that you're able to escape life's monotony and discover this beautiful world that we get to live on. So much is in our face of all the negative, and we want to make sure that we are bringing to light how beautiful this earth and this life can truly be. So, how we're going to do that is we're going to take the time to look up and find the craziest, funniest, silliest, mind blowing headlines of that week, and we're going to discuss it. So, who knows what's to come, but I'm really excited for this segment to see what are some good headlines or what are some silly ones instead of the negative ones that are always brought to the forefront of social media or the news channel. So we want to discover the beauty and the wonderful headlines that are showcased not just in the US but across the globe. And positive vibes only is the mantra for this section of the Discover.
Yeah. So if you couldn't tell, we're excited. And we hope that you get excited too, and that we have something that you might relate to. And that would be really cool. And we want to hear about it too. If you're bold enough to reach out to us, we can't wait to meet you. So, with that said, we're going to get started with our very first Wildcard Wednesday. We're going to start with our escape segment, which that's my drum roll. If you've been here for any amount of time, you know my drum rolls are really bad. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to spin our first wheel. So here we go. I'm clicking to spin.
I'm feeling a
The
little
wheel is
nervous,
spinning. I
but
know, the
excited. Oh
anticipation.
no.
What's it gonna be? Oh, shoot. You predicted it,
Oh
Allie.
no.
It's the worst date ever. I can't believe we're starting
That's
with
so
this.
funny.
Oh gosh.
This is not planned at all, I promise. It's literally Regan spinning a wheel. I just was throwing out topics that I know we had mentioned before.
All right. Well,
I already have one. I don't know if you want some time to think about it, but I had one in
yeah,
mind.
I'd love some time. You go
Okay,
ahead.
well, hopefully the person is not listening to this episode. I'm sorry if you are. You're a great person. You're just not the right person for me. Um, so this was in high school, and this person has had a crush on me for the longest time. And we've been friends, acquaintances, we'll say, and we've had a lot of classes together. And at the time, it was in between I had just ended a relationship and I hadn't started a new one yet, so I was single. It was fine. And I was told that, hey, we're gonna hang out and go to a football game, a college football game, together with like a group of friends. I'm like, oh, sure, that sounds great. Like, no problem. That sounds like a lot of fun. Well, as the date got closer, not like the actual date, because I thought it was friends getting together, but like the date, the day of the week that was happening, all of a sudden the list of people coming started to dwindle. And this was like a Saturday. I was taking my SAT in the morning and then was going to go on this trip, we'll say. It's not even like a really trip. We're going to go to this football game with our group of friends. Well, by the time I'm done with my SAT, at this point it's just me, this guy, and his brother. I'm like, okay, fine. His brother is similar age to us. Totally fine. It'll still be fun. So he picks me up in his truck. We're from a small like country town, so pickup truck is pretty usual. And come to find out his brother can't come anymore. I find that out when he's at my doorstep picking me up. So it's just him and I. It's freezing fall day. It's cold, it's rainy. And we get to the stadium, fine and dandy, whatever. We go in, watch the game. It's freezing cold. He sneaks a selfie with me. Okay, great. Now this is like, people are gonna know this happened. How awkward. And then the game's over. We go to Buffalo Wild Wings. He pays with the money that his mom gave him. But it's okay. I appreciate the effort. And then we're driving home. He's so nervous that he almost blows a stop sign. He doesn't have his lights on when he should have them on with his wipers when his wipers are on. So I'm trying to teach him how to drive practically. In the rain, he almost blows through the stop sign. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he is so nervous. I feel bad, but like, I think he thinks this is going somewhere, but it's not. And I'm getting texts from people wondering what's going on. So this is high school me, okay? I go onto Twitter and I see something like guys and girls can still be friends and it doesn't like mean anything or something like that. So he ends up seeing this tweet and text like one of our other friends like, "Oh my gosh, I was gonna ask her out like this coming week, and then she like tweeted this. I don't know if she really likes me." Well, I didn't really like him more than just a friend. He wasn't my type of guy, but I appreciated all the effort he put into that. I guess we'll call it a date. I think he'll be happy to know I'm calling it a date, even though at that time I was like, that is absolutely not a date. I will not say that I went on a date. But A for effort for him. I appreciated his mom giving him money to feed me. That was very kind. It was memorable. If you hear this, you are still a great person. We're still friends, just nothing more than that. Obviously, I'm married now. I was in high school. We're going to move on from that. But A for effort, and I appreciate the time you spent putting that all together.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. High school's such a weird time, right? Like, you
Yes,
literally
it
don't know what
was.
and hormones, ugh. Like, hormones just make
Yeah.
people crazy, and oh my gosh, love it.
Yeah, what a time, what a
Yeah.
time.
Okay, so mine is also high school. Freshman year of high school, I wasn't allowed to date until high school. So freshman year comes and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna get a boyfriend and I'm a real woman now and all of this stuff. And I'm like, okay, so a few months in, actually, yeah, about a month in, this boy started like flirting with me, and I was like, "Ooh, is he gonna be my first boyfriend?" And get all like squirrely and girly and stuff, and like up to that point, we in my family, anytime there was like a crush or like a boyfriend, quote unquote, it was called a hallway boyfriend because that was the only place that you were allowed to be. So fine, whatever. Well, this boy liked me and asked me to be his girlfriend and then would never talk to me. Literally, would never talk to me. He would text me and, like, occasionally smile at me, and we were in chorus together, and we would make eye contact, but I was not okay with just, like, a nonverbal girlfriend position. So, finally, he asked me on a date, and it's to his friend's Halloween party. Mind you, everyone who's gonna be there, since he was a grade above me, everyone was gonna be older than me, for the most part. And so I got super excited. I was like, "Yes, we're finally going on a date. Like, we're gonna go to this Halloween party. We're gonna be so official." I was so excited. This is my first boyfriend. Well, I get to the Halloween party and I'm super excited and everything. And I'm just standing there and trying to make friends or like not be awkward, even though I'm a teenager and naturally awkward. And time goes by. Time goes by. He never shows up to the Halloween party that his friend is throwing. So I'm just left here, like, what am I supposed to do? Eventually, I call my mom and she comes and gets me, and I'm like frazzled because this guy's supposed to be my boyfriend and I'm supposed to be his girlfriend, and he can't even text me or anything to tell me he isn't coming. So that was probably the worst date because he never showed up and he missed out, just saying. But
Oh my gosh, what a story. I don't think I've ever heard that one before. That is
yeah,
hilarious.
it was a good time. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is great. I'm so glad we got this for the first episode, even though I was not expecting that at all. We just got that out of the way, and that was
Yeah,
hilarious.
love that. Jumping right in with honesty here. I love it.
Yeah, really.
All right, so moving on, we have our Inspire segment where we're going to play the high low game and say what was the high from our week and what was the low from our week. Allie, I have something in mind, but do you want to get us started or do you want me to go first?
I'm ready to go.
All right, you go for it.
Yeah, the timing is guess gonna be a little off since we're recording this, and it's gonna be coming out in February, but my birthday was January 11th. So at this time, my birthday was near when we're recording this episode. But I just got to spend the weekend with my parents. My dad's birthday is January 15th. So my parents came down to visit me in Pittsburgh, and we got to spend the weekend together. And that was really nice. I don't get to see my parents that much since we're 4 hours apart. So that was the high for me, just spending time with them and getting to just hang out and laugh together and just enjoy the weekend together. And then the low, I guess I didn't tell this when I was saying All About Me, but I have two dogs. One is Shakira, also known as Kira, and one is Marley. They are both Pit Lab mixes. They are girls. Marley is 6 months and Shakira is 11 months. Well, Shakira is super chill, and Marley is either the Energizer Bunny or sleeping. So that's been quite the adjustment. And I would say the low has just been taking them on walks together and them both not being on the same page. So Marley thinks it's time to play, and Kira's just trotting along, minding her own business. And I'm just a tangled up mess, and I'm tripping over them, and I look like absolute crazy woman on the walk. So that was a low because I was very stressed and I was just trying to enjoy a nice walk with my dogs. But clearly we have some training to do, which is okay. Definitely been a learning curve, we will say.
Dog frustration is very real.
Yeah, it's a lot.
They're the best and hardest parts of our lives right now until we have children would be my guess. Yeah.
Yes,
But
definitely.
you'll probably hear a lot about our dogs on this podcast because they're our entire world, it seems. But my high from this week, it was kind of a low key week because Nolan, my husband, got his wisdom teeth out. So it was very low key. But on this past Saturday, we went and saw Avatar The Way of Water in IMAX 3D. And oh my God.
So
it,
good, right?
oh my gosh. You saw it?
Yes.
Ah, it's amazing, and maybe we need to talk about this at some point on this podcast of, like, movies of this year or something, because that movie, I don't know how to describe it. So I've seen lots of movies in 3D. I've seen in IMAX. I've seen Endgame, Infinity War, the Star Wars, the past 3 Star Wars movies, things like that, like, big movies that you think about, but this Avatar movie, I literally can't think of any word to describe it, but, like, vast. And I don't know if it was because it largely takes place in nature, so, like, it felt like the edges of the screen had no end, really, but it was gorgeous, like, jaw on the ground, crying for what seemed like no reason. I'm like, "This is gorgeous." But, oh my gosh, yeah, so that was probably my high to go out and do something that was so incredible. And also to feel like you're experiencing a piece of history. Like, the first Avatar was so groundbreaking, and this one I feel like is gonna be just as groundbreaking with the technology that they used and the world that they created. It's gorgeous. Everyone go see it before it leaves theaters, and go see it in IMAX. It is totally worth the splurge. So that was my high probably. That was really fun. My low was, had to do with my dog as well. So this past weekend, I was over at a friend's house, and all of a sudden, my dog, who usually plays with my friend's dog, is just laying there looking at me, looking super sad. And I didn't really think too much of it at first. I was just like, oh, you might be tired or something. But then I noticed that he started like wobbling and shaking and like couldn't stay standing, couldn't walk in a straight line, wasn't really responsive. So I had to rush him to the emergency vet. Turns out he had marijuana poisoning. And I don't know where he got it from. I don't know if he picked it up in my friend's apartment building or on our walk because it was snowy. I couldn't see what he was eating necessarily. But that was incredibly scary. But the vet, some good did come out of it. There were some good aspects, some silver lining. The vet did not make us pay for it because there's nothing you can do with marijuana poisoning in dogs. And they basically looked at him, said, "Yep, this is exactly what you have," and told us to go home and monitor him. So this is kind of like a PSA for all dog owners. If your dog starts wobbling and can't walk in a straight line, maybe loses control of their bladder or something, that could be marijuana poisoning. The only thing to do is to ride it out and maybe save yourself the vet bills. Just kind of monitor your dog for a little while. Be smart about it, of course. But yeah, I had no idea that was a thing. And that was super duper scary to go through. So that was my low. But yeah, yeah. Overall, I'd say it was a good week.
Sounds like a great week despite our few little bumps in the road there, but that's okay. That's life, and that's what makes us human at the end of the day. We have highs and lows, and that's just what gets us through day by day. But our last part here is discover. Like we said, we want to try to find some cool, fun, unique, inspiring headlines. And I think we're going to start off with a bang here. This one's really cool. This headline says bus stops in Scotland go green with roofs covered in plants as a gift for honeybees.
Oh, that's so cute.
How
Thank you,
beautiful.
Good News Network, for having this headline that we can talk about. That's also, can we just talk about the headline itself? That is beautiful. A gift for
I love it.
honeybees? Come on.
I know. How
That's so
sweet.
poetic. I love it.
Literally,
Yeah.
sweet.
So essentially what's happening here is like there are bus stops throughout Scotland and also like across Europe. So, United States, please take notes. There is a way to be zero waste, zero impact. And they have so many things that they're doing for this. They have like these crazy, I don't even know what they are, but like how you see advertisements that switch on bus stops and stuff. They've found a way for that to be like digital paper, basically. That is zero waste, like zero electricity. I don't know how it's happening. Don't ask me. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a chemist. I'm not a geologist, I don't know, whatever science you need to be to create that. But and then there's also these other bus stops that have these gardens basically on top of them that that are so important. I'm so passionate about bees. They can come and it's a gift for the honeybees. How cute.
It sounds so nice, but also, like, I feel like I would be a little panicked with all the bees around. Like, I know they probably won't sting me. Honeybees don't sting, right? I don't think they do.
No.
So, I would still be a little on edge just because what if other bees come? But if I see honeybees, I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. But other bees would make me a little nervous. But then what if a bee gets on the bus? Like the doors are going to be open for an extended period of
Mm.
time. So now are the bees going to be trapped in the bus with some people who are potentially allergic? I don't know.
That's a good
I
question.
think they're on the right track with something, and I love this concept. But there could definitely be some issues that pop up, I feel like.
Yeah. I wonder I wonder if it's a situation like they've probably done a ton of research here and I'd be so interested to dive deeper into this. And if you know anything about it, please let me know because bees are really important to our ecosystems. So yes, we want to make sure that we're protecting them and giving them gifts. Ah, I just keep saying it because it's so pretty. Gifts for honeybees. But if they're like given a space, I don't know if that means that they're going to like leave you alone more. Like, I don't
Probably,
know.
that's a good thought.
I don't know. That's just it's incredible what they're doing. And I know that on the wheel of possibilities, as I'm going to call it for our escape segment, I know that sustainability is one of the options for something we could talk about because I know that means a lot to both of us, and we're kind of exploring it in different ways. So I can't wait to talk about that someday. But this is so cool. This is such a great one to start with too because it really is like when you hear all about climate change or the conversations around climate change where it's like, I believe it's happening. No, I believe it's not. Well, we don't have to be so divided about it. We can just do something about it. And that's really cool that they are forging ahead and making an opportunity to respect nature and to respect our ecosystems and to not only respect them but to bolster them and encourage growth.
Yeah, I love that, and I love that they're taking, like, something that humans have created, these buses, these bus stops, are being invasive to, insects, other animals, and I like that they're taking that and saying, "Hey, we have this problem here, we have this concrete, bus stop or whatever it's made out of, but let's do something good with it and give back to our environment and the honeybees." And who knows what's to come? Maybe this will be a step for other things to come. I know I've seen things before where it's like a bridge that's just grass for animals to safely cross over the road so they're not being killed and stuff like that. I think there's a lot of great possibilities and things that are in the work, and hopefully they start to spread throughout the world so that we can make this world a better place and live synonymously with the creatures that have lived here for almost just as long as us.
Definitely. Oh, I love this. It's so wholesome and it's beautiful. Well, and I think that kind of takes us to the end of our Discover segment. So we hope that you loved this first Wildcard Wednesday. Ellie, I had a ton of fun. What about you?
Yeah, this is great. I think there's a lot of awesomeness to come. If this is just episode 1, I can't wait to see what's in store for 2, 3, and hopefully 25, 50, 100, whatever we're going to be, however long we're going to be taking on this adventure. I'm really excited, and we hope you're just as excited as us. Please reach out to us. We want to connect with you. Like we said, we're just people at the end of the day, and we would love to hear from you via social media or email or on our website. And check out our Travel Tuesdays. So we'll keep you provided with some entertainment every week, whether that be on Tuesday or Wednesday. Be sure to check us out, and we can't wait to hear you in our next episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Wanderlusting Wives podcast. Come escape with us again every other Tuesday for Travel Tuesdays and every other Wednesday for Wildcard Wednesdays.
Don't forget to give us a subscribe and a follow on all of our social media and wherever you listen to your podcasts. And until next time, wander on.